Hey guys, I'm Zarin, and I want to show all of you my top 10 tips for getting better at building in Minecraft. So, first tip is detail. Yes, you need detail. That is literally the most important thing you need in a build. Not even joking. Like, who wants to look at this? Alright. Like, who wants to look at this? It looks flat, it looks plain, it looks boring. Okay. So let's spice it up a little bit. What we actually want is, see how this has oak logs and oak planks? Doesn't really have much of a contrast. I mean, it does, but it kind of doesn't. What you could do is do spruce logs and oak planks. But see how I'm insetting it here? That adds a little bit more depth to the entire build. This looks so much better than this. This adds a little bit more depth, adds a frame around the build, so it actually shows how the build's supposed to be, how strong it is. Alright? Now what you could also do is add a cobblestone base, but then this just looks flat. A key rule of thumb here is, which here's a bonus tip for you guys. The key rule of thumb here is, if you have two blocks right next to each other without any depth leading into them, it doesn't look too good. So let's say cobblestone. I'll take cobblestone stairs for example. This looks way better now because look, it has depth leading into it. It shows a little bit more detail. Alright? Alright, tip number 2, interesting shapes. Okay, we all know the basic square house, alright? You know, yeah, okay, here, I'll make it even more basic because I'm not gonna, spend an hour on this video, alright? So you have the basic square house, 3x3, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, let's just say this represents the house. This is not an interesting shape, it's just a square. Alright, it is literally just a square. How I can make it more interesting though is by doing this. I can come out a little bit here, come out like this. Now, you don't want to make it completely even, alright? So, you have a room there, and then you can come out here. Like, even the default Minecraft villages, okay, they don't have, well, I mean, some of them do, but there's a house in the villages. Well, this is old Minecraft. There's a house in the village that is an L shape. That is literally one of the most basic, but it adds a little bit more, oomph to your build. And this is an L shape as well, but see how it has a little pitch over here? The only problem I have with these is you don't really want to go one block out. You want to go like 2 or 3, because whenever you put your frame around the corners, it looks all weird. It's really weird to try to get that right. So yeah. So tip number 3 is plan your block palette. Okay, yeah, I couldn't read that for a second. So as you see in my hotbar right now, I have spruce logs, oak planks, spruce planks, cobblestone, andesite, and stone. All of these have a very kind of washed out kind of look to them. They're not super saturated. Like the sign, for example, it's super vibrant, it's super saturated. Yeah, you can probably use that in some scenarios, but not in this one. So block palette can be pretty much any combination of blocks that go well together and that suit each other. Like these two go really well together, these two go really well together, and these 3 go really well together. You see, for cobblestone, it's super decaying, and then andesite shows, oh, it's starting to crack and stuff like that. And stone shows that it's smooth and polished, stuff like that. And if you really want to go further with that, you can actually do polished andesite, so it looks brand new. See, polished andesite and stone look really good next to each other. This actually adds depth because, yeah, lighting stuff. So yeah, that's how that works. Common block pallets can be found pretty much anywhere. If you want to look up a block pallet, Just go look it up or look at other builds, see what pallets they use. Tip number 4, don't set an impossible challenge. Oh my god, I've done this so many times and it kills me to do it. You know how everyone's like, yeah, I'm gonna build a kingdom, I'm gonna build a castle. Well, I mean, no you aren't. Because guess what? That's very, very hard to do. To make it look good, I don't have a picture of it, but I built a castle on a Xbox World once. It wasn't much of a castle. It was more like a super, like, square box with pillars on it, like super high pillars. There was no point. It was not to scale or anything. It was horrible, okay? And it took me, like, a good 3 or 4 months to do that. And it was horrible, yeah. Just don't set an impossible challenge, alright? Number 5 is small steps. Okay, listen very, very closely. You want small steps, okay? So, let's say you're trying to build a house like this one, okay? Well, what does you use this example again? This right here, laying out the floor plan, is a small step that you want to do. Picking out your block pallet is a small step you want to do. Would you rather be prepared to do something or not be prepared to do something? It's pretty obvious what you want to do. So we have the basic frame of the house, okay, and then another small step would be like, oh, okay, I'm going to put the logs all on the corners. And if you work at small steps, you realize your mistakes super quick. Like this right here, watch. Oh, that looks really weird. That's going to be a really hard angle to get to. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take this row out, push it out a few blocks. And see, it's still interesting. Even though it's still like a bunch of boxes, it's still interesting. And now it's even easier to put roof on and anything like that. And now you have a little garden area over here if you need it. Oh, that's not my thing. Over here. Okay, so number 6 is groundwork. Okay, groundwork can be considered basically this over here, laying down your frame. Okay, I know I already mentioned this, but 5 and 6 kind of go hand in hand. It's just laying out your frame, essentially. Was that 5 and 6? Yeah, it's 5 and 6. Number 7 is basic shapes. I know what I said earlier. Interesting shapes. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know what I said earlier about interesting shapes. Yes, you want interesting shapes, but see how this entire thing is comprised of basic shapes? Square, square, and square. Okay. You essentially have many basic shapes, but the most common, of course, in Minecraft is the square, as you see here, right? So you have a square here, okay, and then you can have a rectangle over here, and then you can have a rectangle coming off of this rectangle. I guess this is a square, but yeah, whatever. So yeah, what you make with it is up to you. All right, but essentially, start with basic shapes, but combine them in a way to make them interesting. So next is refine. Okay, so once you have your basic shape down, we'll just actually here, yeah. We'll just do this. So I have the basic wall down, right, and it's ready to be refined, everything like that. So I'm gonna put cobblestone here, cobblestone here. So now you have a little thing here. So this is actually refining it down slowly but surely. But now see how I put those there? Those kind of take away the depth. This is the entire refining process of just trial and error, trying to figure out what actually works. Now what would work here is putting those there, okay, And then if you had like a log cabin or something like that, you could put these out here. And there you go. It makes it look a lot better. This could be a hobbit hole for all we know. I don't know. Or if you really want, you could put stairs there, but I'm not going to show that here. Just use the refining process. Number 9 is research. Okay. The way I learned how to build was through all of these tips, all of these steps, and watching other people. I recommend Grian, and I recommend Good Times with Scar, because both of those people are extremely good builders. Good Times with Scar is more of a terraforming type of guy. He does a lot of terraforming, which, yeah, you will need terraforming. Like, let's say I have this epic castle, but it's on this flat landscape. What's the point in having that epic castle if it's on a flat landscape? It's not really going to look too epic. You're not high above people. So yeah, that just wouldn't work out too well. However, if you have a good landscape, it works pretty well. Basically, you want to look at other people's content, other people's builds, other people's creations. Not really copy them, but learn from them. Learn like what people like about them, what people dislike about them, stuff like that. But everyone has their own style, and your style could be anything. My style just happens to be, you know, not super refined, and I'm alright with that. It's not really a style. It's more of like I'm just too lazy to do anything about it. But yeah. So number 10 is feedback. Feedback. You definitely need feedback, because have you ever heard of the flipping the canvas type of thing, where essentially you are trying to make yourself view the canvas as if it was a brand new thing. It's what digital artists used a lot. You're basically flipping the canvas horizontally, and it makes it look like a whole new image, so you know nothing's leaning to one side or anything like that. Essentially what I'm saying here is make yourself look at your build differently, or what you should be doing is getting other people's feedback from it, because you can get feedback from your own build, but it's only limited to however much anyone else can see, if that makes any sense. So share your builds, show people. If you're just starting out, show them. I know it's going to be embarrassing, okay, when you just start out, but it's going to be a lifesaver. You're gonna progress so much faster if you actually show people your builds, and they actually get to judge them. Yes, you need to be judged. It's not something that you can really help. You have to be judged, or else you're not gonna make it. All right. So, guys, keep in mind all 10 of these tips. Just a quick review. All right. 1. Detail. Add as much detail as you can. 2. Interesting shapes. Basic shapes, but make them interesting. 3. Plan block palette. Plan your block palette. 4. Don't set an impossible challenge. Self-explanatory. 5. Small steps. Build up to what you're actually going to be, but start in a small area and slowly progress. 6. Groundwork. Make sure you have your foundation down. 7. Basic shapes. Goes with the interesting shapes thing. 8. Refine. Keep working with your build, refining it to make it look better overall. 9 is research. Look at other creators. And 10 is feedback. Have other creators judge you. Alright, guys. That'll wrap it up for this video. I am Zarin. Have a nice day. Peace.